Hello, good morning, guys. How are you today? And good morning, my lecturer. I hope you are in a good condition. So, I would like to explain again about the research article for today. So, the title is Improving Speaking Fluency in a Task Based Language Teaching Approach in the case of EFL learners at Punif. So, the purpose is this study to assess how learners of English as a foreign language, or EFL, improve their speaking fluency in a task-based language teaching, or TBLT approach, used with ninth grade learners at Punif. Punif is a high school in Rwanda. That is the first purpose, and the second one is to know the learner's opinion on being taught with the TBLT approach in the classroom. Okay? So, what is the novelty? The novelty of this research is to investigate more how EFL learners can overcome their speaking problems in the TBLT approach in different contexts. Okay? Let's take a look at this one. So, in the teaching English process at Punifkazenga, a structural syllabus is used, and then the linguistic items in the syllabus are taught as well, discretely for the purpose of examination. But the problem is their oral communication has been a concern in their learning process. Their speaking ability becomes a problem because they had the lack in the vocabulary, and then they couldn't express what their what their thought is because of that limitation. And let's take a look to the research questions. So, since the research purpose is 2, then the research question is 2 as well. The first research question is how can the EFL learners at Punif, a high school in Rwanda, improve their speaking fluency in the TBLT approach? And then the second one, what are the learners' perspectives on being taught with the TBLT approach? Okay. It's the similar with the purpose. How about the participants? The participants of this research were a group of 40 learners who had been randomly selected from the 360 learners attending 9th grade at Punif. Okay, and then 22 of them were male and 18 were female, and their age ranged from 16 to 18 years old. This was a voluntary participation. The researchers used the case study design, which they have the audio recorded picture descriptions and audio recorded interviews, which serve as the research instruments. Okay, and then how they analyzed the data. So the data was analyzed used the qualitative approach. So the learner's speeches were transcribed, and the words in each transcript were before and after were counted. So that was the data analysis and interpretation procedure. Okay, this is the example of how they analyzed the data. Let's take a look at this one. The learner's utterances were also manually transcribed and shared with the learners to check that the text conformed to what had been stated. The transcripts were then translated into English for the purpose of analysis. Okay, so Albino, Gabriel Albino is the writer, stated this that how he processed the data and how he make the conclusion from the research collection, the data collection. How about the results? The result is the improvements were made, and then there also the rapid speech production on learners, and then comprehensibility. Also, they made a progress in the speed of speech production, and then they also increased the number of words. So this is related to the vocabulary that was stated before, number of words they uttered. And by looking at this result, it shows that there is a significant result based on what TBLT, task-based language teaching approach, after it was implemented in this high school. Okay, as the speech production, they also had the enhancement in grammatical accuracy. Okay, and then they also could elaborate their statements furthermore after implying or after do the TBLT approach. It also related to their mental processes, so it make them easier to comprehend the material well, and they could express their thought well by doing the steps that we could see at the above of this research. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at the significance. So the use of the TBLT approach can provide teachers with an advantage from the standpoint of helping learners with their school examinations and with their use of the target language outside the classroom. The present study has been conducted in the Anglan context, in which findings on how learners can improve their speaking proficiency in the TBLT approach are represented. Okay? And then the notable contribution was to gather data not only from the learners' utterances in an interview, but also from the learners' transcripts of their pictures description. The other significance is the finding indicate that learners have exhibited better speaking fluency than they did before the teaching was implemented, as I have stated before in the previous statement. Okay? And that is the conclusion. That's it. I hope you can understand the material from this Gabriel Albino research. And thank you for listening. And bye bye.